Jaden Sancho.
Yeah.
You chased him for, was it a year, 2 years, where you literally, you were really keen, obviously, to bring him into
the club. Did, yeah. And then I was, he's the best option that we have.
What did you see in him before? What in terms of the scouting reports? Obviously, he's got talent, and he was playing very well at Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
What were the things that sort of attracted you that, as a club, to think, well, OK, he's going to do well at United?
Then we wanted to take the next step on not moving away from, but also add, OK, in the last third, have players who can break teams down, and Jaden in and around the box.
Those little passes.
With his skill and link-up play and with little passes, he gives us something different.
We'll get back to Ole in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. As ever, if there's something on your mind, something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. Big D reads all of the comments and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this clip, it's a really interesting clip where Ole talks about what's gone wrong with Marcus Rashford and Jaden Sancho at Manchester United, and what it was about those two players that he liked so much when he was at the club. He also talks about Rúben Amorim's 3-4-3 system and how it can be so difficult to play against as well. It's a really, really cool clip. Always like listening to Ole. He seems like a really genuine guy and he's got an interesting story or two to tell. Anyway, stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on those two dastardly players. Here's Ole.
I want to ask you about a couple more players, if I can.
Yeah.
You said Marcus Rashford. What do you make of what's happened, obviously, when you had him? And then what do you make of this sort of journey that he's gone on, this decline, and obviously gone to Barcelona, he's gone to Villa?
That's I've not spoken to Marcus since I left. Been texting a little bit, but the circumstances. I don't know what's happened in Marcus's life, and but you can see he's enjoying himself now in Barcelona. So. And it looked like he didn't enjoy himself here at the end. So,
but why United having a group of players that are not enjoying themselves? What's happening there?
Homegrown
I don't think that's just at United. It's everywhere. But of course, it's blown.
It's not now. I'm talking about in the last few years, basically. Before, I think now actually the team look like they're actually, they're in a happy place at this moment. But
I don't know. All the pressures. Every single one's different, and the pressures of life, pressure of football. I don't know. We don't know what's happened to players when you walk in the morning and you see them grumpy. That's the manager's job. Then you speak. What's up? I can see something's wrong, and you don't talk about that in the media most of the time. So we don't really know what's happened. You just want him to do well, because he's an incredible player when he's in form and he's happy, and when he's got energy. Look at. I go back to Erling Haaland again. Just the energy that he shows when he plays every time. That when he's on the pitch, he just shows that enthusiasm and energy. And that's the least, I know, that's the least you should.
Right, no, you're right.
But with
a lot of players don't show that energy
and then
enthusiasm.
Why is that? Is it life? Is it too many games? We don't know, but he's found the right balance for sure.
Yeah,
he's not slack off after his new contract, has he?
I just saw an interview with him a few months ago. I think it was after they won the Champions League, and he's stood there with his medal. Thierry Henry is interviewing him, and he's answering. And then in the end, he just asked. He grabs the opportunity. He asked Thierry Henry, if you can give me one advice, what would it be? Wow. So that's the kid who's just won the treble, and then he just wanted that from him, and that's him. He just wants to learn all the time.
Jaden Sancho. You chased him for, was it a year, 2 years, where you literally, you were really keen, obviously, to bring him into
the club. Did, yeah. And then I was, he's the best option that we have.
What did you see in him before? What in terms of the scouting reports? Obviously, he's got talent, and he was playing very well at Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
What were the things that sort of attracted you that, as a club, to think, well, OK, he's going to do well at United?
Then we wanted to take the next step on not moving away from, but also add, OK, in the last third, have players who can break teams down, and Jaden in and around the box.
Those little passes.
With his skill and link-up play and with little passes, he gives us something different. He was unlucky, because before he came, he went on holiday, as you do, and then all this diving and all sorts, but he got this infection in his ears. He was in hospital. He really struggled his first 10 days or something before he could start working with us that pre-season.
At the club?
At the club, yeah.
Before he came to United?
Yeah, before he came, that summer. So that's not come out, but he struggled. And then that's...
Could you not hear what you were saying?
So I never managed... so I never managed to really play with him because I was out before he was really on fire again.
I thought you meant diving on the pitch. You mean in the pool and everything?
Wow.
See, sometimes you don't know the full story, though, do you?
There's quite a few that didn't work, though, isn't there? If you look back, there's loads of them, isn't there?
Yeah, but that's...
Like a Di Maria, Anthony last year, or last couple of years. There's so many that just haven't worked. But then they go on and
do well in different
do well
clubs.
somewhere else. Yeah.
What do you make of the current? I know there's a lot been talked in the last few months about the system, and obviously you've been a manager. Have you ever played the 5 at the back and 3 at the back?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, 3-4-3, 3 box 3, whatever you call it. It's horrible to play against when it's played well.
I agree.
If you want to press it high, the first team that really did it, that I remember in our era, was Basel against Liverpool a few years ago in the Champions League, I think it was. And you saw, wow, how can Liverpool press this? And they did it. It's because you got to go man to man, really. That's the only chance if you got follow the runs and all this. So when it works, again, but you probably need teams to press you to really make it work as well. And you see maybe at United, they seem to win games now more when they've got less than 50% possession, or 45, 50%, instead of when they've got 60, 65.
Yeah.
And when you've used that system, how has it gone for you?
No, it's gone well. I had 3 good centre-backs that, we used it in Norway when I played. Didn't play it at United.
Did you play it once at United away at Tottenham? Did you play 5 at the back away at Tottenham, a game you had to win near the end? I just remember doing the commentary on the game.
Yeah, 5-3-2. That's after we'd lost to Liverpool and City.
Yeah, and you went then had to win, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to win, yeah.
And one down, you won, yeah?
We won 3-0, and that was... I used Edson, Cavani and Edison and Cristiano 2 up front, so we played 5-3-2. So that's a bit of a different one again.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to, okay.
Was that to get them both in the team? Or?
Yeah, that was not easy. No, if you want to, because nowadays there's not many teams that play with two centre forwards, and can you play 4-4-2 old style with 2 centre forwards anymore, or do you have to go 3-5-2? I really like
the 3-5. It's still strange when you mention Ronaldo at United that time, isn't it? It's like
feels weird, yeah.
But he scored 2. Did he score 2 in that? Or did he score 1 each? Yeah. He scored 1 volley. That was brilliant. Yeah. Maybe
it probably is the best way to get 2 centre forwards in, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
With
the 3-5-2.
3-5-2.
You got the width, because nowadays with our style 4-4-2, open in midfield. It's all so intricate now, isn't it?
Teams defend in a 4-4-2 sometimes, don't they? I mean, even Real Madrid last night were 4-4-2. City sometimes in Arsenal. Yeah. You know, Arsenal in big games. So
I think most teams do when you get in, or many teams get when you get into your own half. When you press high, it's man to man, more or less.
I had no idea about that ear infection thing with Jaden Sancho. That is news to me. And yeah, I mean, things at the highest level, in any realm, whether it's sport or art or whatever, it's the tiny details that can make the difference. So who knows if Jaden Sancho hadn't got that little ear infection and he was able to have a full pre-season or whatever it was, he was able to hit the ground running with Ole. He just might have sort of helped Ole ride that turbulent time. Who knows? Because I do remember United lacked a bit of pace up front. That season, once Ronaldo got into the team. So maybe Jaden Sancho might have been able to do something. Who knows? But it was a shame that Jaden Sancho didn't work out. See, the thing is, though, to be fair, I do remember United were trying to get him for a good couple of seasons. And then the pandemic happened. And everyone kind of, because, you know, no one was getting any match day revenue or anything like that. And because, there was a big break in the football, so the, sponsorship was up in the air and all of this kind of thing, and the income was reduced. No one was splashing out big money on anything, particularly United. So we actually got Jaden Sancho a year later than what we should have got him. And I do remember that particular year, I think we come second to City. And I don't think City were that good that year as well. So if we'd gotten Jaden Sancho the year before and the pandemic hadn't happened, then perhaps, maybe, just maybe, that might have made the difference for Ole. And he might have been able to push Pep Guardiola that season and win the Premier League title. Because he was close. He was closer than you think, looking back. I mean, just go back and look at how close Ole was to winning the league. And yeah, I do remember as well. Now, Bruno helped a lot with this. It's very interesting what he says there, because we were blistering on the counter-attack. We regularly pumped Man City. Ole's got the best record of any manager against Pep Guardiola, because, we were just torn to pieces on the counter. It was quite straightforward, to be fair. But it was Liverpool we struggled against, and we struggled against teams that played the low block. And Bruno was very good at helping us unlock those teams. But if Bruno had a bad game, then there was no one to pick up the slack about, when it came to unlocking those compact defences. So getting Jaden Sancho in, and if he was on form and he had the confidence, then maybe, just maybe, he might have made a difference. Now, here's the thing with Ole. Ole was a very good man manager. He got the best out of all the players that he had who played. He even got a season out of Anthony Martial. And perhaps if he'd managed to get his sort of claws into Jaden Sancho, he might have been able to do something with the guy to get him playing. Because some people need a little bit of attention. Some people need an arm round the shoulder. Some people need... Not everyone's Roy Keane, who just gets on with it. Some players need coaxed out of their shell. And it seems to me that perhaps Jaden Sancho was one of them. But still, I'm not going to sort of cry any tears for Jaden Sancho or Marcus Rashford, because both of those guys were on big money. They should have been professional enough to be able to do something. And that was a really funny little quip there. Erling Haaland knocked down in tools after he got his big contract. That was absolutely fantastic. And he's absolutely bob on with that. Because, at the end of the day, the thing is with Marcus Rashford was brilliant. Then he got his contract, and then he didn't try anymore. And there was no difference between those two seasons. In fact, the second season, you could argue that, he cost Eric Ten Hag his job, because he bet the house on Marcus Rashford, scoring those goals again, and it unfortunately didn't quite work out. But hey ho, who cares? They're both away from the club now. Things are moving in the right direction, but sometimes it's fun to look back, especially when it comes from Ole, the greatest manager Man United have ever had post Alex Ferguson so far. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think about the Sancho and the Rashford situation? Thoughts and comments. And the Big D. See you in the next one.